Okay, that was my 4 trains, and we're downtown Brooklyn. That's where that train is headed. And right now I'm at City Hall, Brooklyn Bridge, and this is where all the big cases happen. I covered Donald Trump's trial. I was in the courtroom with Donald Trump. He's a really tall guy. That's when I knew the media lies. They try to say he's short and stout or whatever, but the guy is tall. And he looked like he was stressed out in court too. So court is never a good thing. If you want to go back up to Uptown to Grand Central, where I just came from, then I'll just come and get on the 4 or 5 train here. All right, this is the lower part of Manhattan. This is the subway system where it all happens, as far as they're in the business of moving people around. If you decide to come to the trial, let's say you come into the airport, you get into Grand Central, you can stay in a hotel in lower Manhattan, what have you, I would suggest. And it's very easy. You get your Metro card, costs you, I guess it's like $3 and something, whatever. And then you could also get a map. They give you maps to show you how to get around. Obviously not this map, but they have maps. And people are friendly enough to point you in the right direction. Last night there was a YouTuber by the name of Armand Wiggins that had a big birthday bash. So I was invited and I went. And Lauren LaRosa from the Breakfast Club, that's my new friend, she was there. A lot of big personalities were there. You know, it's nice to see a lot of people coming from California. We have people here from Germany that are covering this case. So before I get into my little story and walk to the courthouse to let you guys see who's in line, this is the skyline, people. New York. Wow, somebody's here from Australia. Wow. I noticed there's more people from around the world on my stream than actually in the United States. Hey, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate every one of you. Okay, so we're in the financial district. Look at these buildings. I bet it's much bigger than where many watching probably, you know, for their local courthouse and municipality buildings. But this is where it all happens. And there's a lot of homeless people. There's just so much going on. They transport Diddy from Brooklyn each day. And you see here, yeah, you don't want any smoke with these people. When that gate go up, you better not drive over there, or you be asking for some real trouble. So they have Harvey Weinstein's case, and then this guy that killed the CEO of the United Health, his case is coming up. I'll be covering that case too. But anyway, let's get to Diddy. I know, and I'm not a loose talker, so everything I say is by much thought. But at any rate, let me tell you what's going on with Diddy that you don't hear in the media. So, and I want to preface this by saying Diddy was a monster. All those hits that you heard, he was on drugs and he was doing some crazy stuff, alcohol, and he had a lot of money, so he had a lot of power. So I do not condone in any way what Diddy did. In fact, I stand with abuse victims all day. And if anything would happen around me, I would probably get involved. I'd say, hey, cool it, brother. You know, call the police, do whatever it takes to, you know, people shouldn't be getting beaten, and also the mental abuse and all of that. So let me make that clear. But I will tell you a few things about Diddy. They're not saying in court. So Diddy, when he was locked up, they showed us in court, he got locked up. pretty much everybody that was around him, it looks like they were offered some sort of deal. And so they have to come to court and tell their story to get immunity. Some of them are getting immunity. Some of them probably already had it or what have you. So that's why you see the one-man band on trial. But from inside information, and mind you, I've been in court every day. I've been speaking to all sorts of people, including his family. I'm a third-party journalist. You know, I'm doing my thing out here. But I will tell you that for the last, I'd say, almost year, Diddy has been clean, probably for the first time that the guy has came on scene. So he has been clean. He's also getting some, I'll just leave it at treatment because I don't want to say too much, but I want to give you guys an idea that this is what's happening in the background, and nobody is reporting that Diddy has been clean. Obviously, he's in jail, so he's clean. But that's just a bit of information. In court, I mean, he has 300 hours to talk to his attorneys, and they have to struggle to be able to talk to him. So Agnifilio is constantly getting up saying, listen, I can't get enough time with Diddy because these females, they have all these email exchanges. So listen, let me tell you something. All your text messages you think is cool when you're out here cheating on your mate and you're out here want to commit crimes. Oh, they have an app for that. Well, not even an app. They have a service that they use on Diddy and anybody else. Oh, well, they can go back and pull up all your emails. So you can delete it from your phone all you want to. So the best thing is, the best message is what my grandmother used to say. If you do right things will follow you. If you do bad will follow you. And I have to think about that every day because that has proven true. It's like the whole thing about you reap what you sow. That's some real talk. If you plant an apple seed, you're gonna get apple tree, what have you. So you're not gonna get oranges. So the best thing to do is to stay out of the way of the feds because they're proficient. This lady here, she's from Law and Crime, and I was on Law and Crime this week, and they want me to come back on. I'm excited. People thought I was a reporter. I was like, man, that's crazy. I never thought that, because these people are polished. I'm doing this on my own. These people do this every day. And for people to think that I was actually a reporter, that's kind of weird to me. But I'm going to keep getting better, trying to give you guys a better story. Look at the line already. So Diddy, he is trying to, this case will wake up anybody. But I thought it would be good to let people know that these are things that actually happened. Also, Brian Steele, he came on board, and I'm telling you, this guy is phenomenal. I mean, the other attorneys are great, and I can tell that the main attorney, Agnifilio, he's like the strategist, so he can figure things out. Look at there, somebody's in their tent. They're holding spaces in line for everybody. But anyway, let me tell you what happened in court yesterday real quick before I have to go. And this is where they're trying to show this RICO case, kind of like, they put this one-man RICO on R. Kelly, too. And look at him. He got all those years in prison. So it's really hard to overcome something like this. So, it's a very serious case. But anyway, when the day of the beating with Cassie in the hotel that we saw on the CNN video, basically that video they showed yesterday that Diddy paid off the hotel to give him that video and delete every other video, what have you. How are you? Good to see you. He paid off. That's really incriminating. He paid off. He started off with the guy on shift, and he had his assistant, Christina Crum. I think that's her name, Crum, and she was contacting the guy. And then she showed up in the lobby. It was like, basically, we can take care of you. So they ended up getting $50,000. That's what the manager. So this guy, he didn't want to do it. The guy that testified yesterday, Eddie Garcia, he didn't want to do it, but his manager says we'll do it for 50,000. Diddy was like, "You're my angel, Eddie. Eddie's my angel." And so basically that's what happened. Oh, so this is the line, everybody. So it was very incriminating, and I see that that's how they're trying to put this whole RICO together. So we've heard a lot of witnesses, but again, so now I guess today I'm number 2 in line, folks, for the main courtroom. I have sitters that I pay to wait overnight. I pay them well, no craziness. I let them charge me what they want to charge me. And this is my commitment, and I'm doing this on my own. I'm not asking for help. So anyway, this is where we go into line. So I'll be number 2 here in this line. The press will go in to the right. This is where I did my law and crime, my first video. From right here, when you guys probably see the video on law and crime. I got so many followers from that, and I'm glad that they want me to be on a regular basis. So anyway, they're bringing on Jane Doe. Now, a lot of things hit the media yesterday. I was in the courtroom when the lady went berserk and was telling the police officers, "Go ahead and pull your gun out." And they got crazy. But Diddy was like, no, we don't want that. I thought that was interesting. He didn't want any of those things happening in court. Also in court yesterday, some people have revealed the identity of victim of Mia, right? Because they went through such great lengths to hide her identity. So yesterday, the prosecutor says we have 3 people basically. Well, the prosecutor said they have 2 people that posted her name online, and they want the judge to ban them basically from the courthouse. And then they said, "Judge, basically you can impose whatever you want to do beyond that." And then the defense stood up and they said, "Yeah, we have someone too that has exposed it." And then we have Jane Doe coming in today. So they said her story is going to take probably longer than Cassie because she has so many emails that they're going to go through. So we've already heard Cassie, Capricorn, Clark. I've heard Mia. I've been in the courtroom through all of that. And listen, I'm going to tell you straight up. The judge gave this illustration. He said about circumstantial evidence. He said, listen, if we're sitting in the courtroom and one person walk in with an umbrella dripping of water, and then another person come in with a rain jacket dripping of water, you could rightly assume that it's raining outside, right? Okay, so that's the problem with this case. I mean, the first witness, okay, and cross-examination can really tear them apart or whatever, right? And I never want to question a witness. If somebody tell me, or a victim, if they say they were abused or something, I'm not going to be the person trying to prove them wrong, because everybody needs to tell their own story and they need to be understood, because we weren't there. And so that's my message. And you shouldn't be putting your hands on other people, especially women and children. And I know there's some blurred lines because of all of the wokeness. But when it comes down to biology, I'm just saying we shouldn't be putting our hands on anybody. And that's the point. But the problem is, after you have 2 and 3 women sitting there, and Capricorn Clark talking about Kid Cudi she's kidnapped, Kid Cudi comes in, and so what happens, this is what I don't like about the case. The lawyer says that you can't unring a bell. So once something's said in court, you can't take it back. So the jury has heard that, right? So like Kid Cudi, I thought he would just come in and testify about Diddy. But he was throwing in some slick statements that kind of paint a picture of Diddy like he wanted to get a few licks in. So let me explain. They were like, well, when this happened with your car, being basically set on fire, Molotov cocktail, also the whole burglary. But remember now, the police officer said they did not file it as a burglary, they filed it as a trespass. So we need to be accurate. It was a trespass, and Diddy was not charged for that event. They never pinned it to him. Okay, so that's something we need to know. But anyway, Kid Cudi comes out of his own mouth when they say, "Oh, did you feel like you knew who did it? Why Diddy did it or something?" Yeah, Diddy was known to be violent. So when that happens, when he's saying stuff like that, it gets to be you get to feel like he's trying to get in a few of his own points in the deal. So also, I see that the attorneys on cross-examination, which I think is very effective, but they'll ask a question that they know they shouldn't be asking, and they do that just to get the jury to, even though the person don't answer right, the jury gets to think about that point. You can't unring that bell. So, folks, I could go on all day about this, and I was in the New York Times, and someone reached out to offer me a documentary. I'm not interested in doing that. I like to keep control of my own message. I don't need people's money. So anyway, that's my message. I'm trying to give you guys a real deal truth. Now, when I get on stage at my studio, I try to bring you guys professionals. This weekend, I'm bringing you a body language expert that sat beside me in court. She's going to tell you the body language of Diddy, Cassie, and everybody that was in court. That's what I bring on my shows. Out here on the street, I'm just talking to you like I talk to my brother and my sister. And, like on a regular basis, or my sugar baby. I just keep it 100. It may not sound all the greatest, but you get to hear what's happening in court, and I try to stay accurate. So be good out there. Like the video, share, and I'll be back after court to show you. Listen, for the record, I'm my own man. I'm not a part of a network. Nobody can buy me. So I'm going to show you guys the homeless people. I'm going to show you the buffoonery. I'm going to show you the real life. This is what I see out here in the street, and I show it. So if you don't like it, just catch another video or what have you. But I'm just showing you in live time what's really happening, so you can come to your own conclusion about this case and about life at large. Thank you, and I have a good day.